EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for October 29th, 2025. Welcome to Wild Weather Wednesday, brought to you by Pure Sight and Sound. Oh, how they love designing unique home theaters. You may blink when you first see the number on the proposal because Pure Sight and Sound delivers luxury brands that you won't find at the big box chains. They're chosen for performance, not for name recognition. Pure Sight and Sound works in your home, custom designing a theater that belongs only to you. And here's what really matters. Years from now, your kids will remember the Friday night movies, Sunday football, and the laughter of friends in your home. The price fades, the memories don't. Call Ed today at the phone number above me here in the video, 570-992-2992, or visit them on the web at puresightandsound.com. Pure Sight and Sound with you from the first wire to forever. So today we have a system that's going to be approaching the region, and it's going to result in an increase in clouds. We're not going to have much in the way of clouds to start in our northern areas. Southern areas will get into that a little bit sooner, but there will be some breaks of sun early on. And then you have clouds increasing from south to north throughout the course of the day today, becoming mostly cloudy by the end of the day. Then we have the precipitation moving in with it. Before I get to that, I'll give you the synoptic overview with the European model here, and it shows the precipitation moving in overnight tonight. It'll be starting in the evening in our far southern areas, and then work its way in western areas, and then work its way northeast from there. This low pressure will move through West Virginia and then eventually into western Pennsylvania. It'll try to spawn a secondary area low pressure here. Here's the 993 millibar low here, which sounds like child's play compared to what we saw yesterday in Jamaica with an 892 millibar low. That was insane, but it's going to try to pop a secondary low right here. And if this is, which is Melissa, this is now looking at Thursday afternoon, mid-afternoon. If Melissa wasn't there, there would probably be an easier transfer from one low to the next, but it's having trouble because this one right here is competing with the energy from this. So it's in the picture. A lot of people like to say if this was January, how much snow we get. Well, in this case, in January, this is not going to be here. Okay, we're not going to have hurricanes out there in January. But, normally we'd have an easy transfer here, but you're still going to have, because you don't have that transfer, now you don't have to worry about subsidence, and the rainfall has been increasing over much of our area because you don't have the dry slot, the subsidence in between the two competing lows here, because it's not really handing off energy that quickly. And it will eventually, but it's going to be once this gets up to New England. That's when it starts to do that. You could even see at this point between the two lows here, there's a little bit of a dry slot in between here that works in when you have the transfer of energy. So that's just going to take place too late because of the presence of Melissa heading well out to sea and away from our area. But since it's in that vicinity, it's going to prevent this full transfer. All that does is increase precipitation across our region, and this will be ending during the course of Thursday evening. Might last a little bit past midnight in our far northern, northeastern areas, but other than that, we are looking at a dry Friday. So let's get over the NAM high-res future simulated radar now. This is starting off at this is midnight. Okay, so we have all this precipitation off to our south and west is going to be working in, and most areas will start with this rain after midnight tonight as it heads off to the north and east. We will have, during the day on Thursday, some steadier periods of rain, not just showers, and there are going to be some embedded heavier rain. As you can see here, see all these reds and yellows and oranges showing up here. Some embedded heavier rain as this moves off to the north and east. This is mid-afternoon. This goes into the evening with some residual rain and rain showers. And then once we get to just past midnight, you still have a little bit of shower activity still hanging on into our far northern and northeastern areas, but then that will be it. So we're back to this for Friday. A lot of municipalities are doing trick-or-treat this year on actual Halloween, which is not as hard to figure out what day it's going to be on now. I know some like to do on a Friday regardless of what day Halloween falls on, but it just so happens this year Halloween coincides with a Friday, so we don't have to worry about that. So if you're trick-or-treating here that Friday night, it is going to be a little windy, but, not as windy as during the day, but you'll have some breezy conditions during the evening. But other than that, we're looking at dry conditions on Friday, okay? In terms of total rainfall, this is probably the best projection I can find, and this is the European model suggesting that we're going to have 1 inch to 1.5 inches across most of the area. Maybe, and it's actually showing a little bit less down here at the shore point, so I don't know if that's right, but it's showing between an inch and a half with some locally higher amounts. That's a general consensus average. But then if you look over at the NAM that ran at this evening, this is looking at higher totals in the eastern areas from far eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, mostly New Jersey, and also eastern parts of Delaware getting over 2 inches of rain. I don't know if we're going to get that high. We could sit here and blanket this and not micromanage it and make it a 1 to 2 and call it a day. 1 to 2 inch swath of rain across the region and call it a day. But we're going to try to break this up a little bit. And when we send out our text alerts, so we're not going to just blanket it. We're just going to see where we think the best rain is going to be. Right now, I think it's going to be actually in here, and that would include the Jersey shore points and also the Delaware shore points down here in eastern Maryland. So I think that's going to be a general rule across the entire region as this moves through here on Thursday. So this is the total rainfall from that system. The other aspect to this is the windy conditions that are going to be present. Won't be too windy here on Thursday, but there will be some wind gusts picking up during the day, during the morning, actually. Then it'll go through about late afternoon as it moves southwest and northeast. This is going to be with that heavier slug of rain. Generally looking at 15 to 25 mile per hour winds as common gusts, but then we're going to have some peak gusts that are 30 to 35. Might be up to 40 here in our far eastern areas across coastal New Jersey especially. And then we're going to get a lull in the action when it's really not doing anything on Thursday night. Once we get to Friday, again, Friday morning, and then during the day, we get the entire area involved here with widespread 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. So a windy day on Friday. But there won't be any precipitation with this. This is more cold advection and a little bit of a pressure gradient here. There's a low-level jet running right across over top of Pennsylvania, so that's basically the culprit in that. But this should start to diminish once we get past the evening hours. This is going to be breezy through the evening, but then we should start to diminish overnight. And then Saturday looks like it's going to be just breezy, like a 10 to 15, gusting 20 to 25 type of day. The windiest day there's a period, of course, is going to be Friday, though, with the entire area under the gun for 30 to 40 mile per hour winds, with some isolated higher than that. Especially in our southeastern areas, might get into the lower 40s here for wind gusts, 40 to 45 mile per hour range. But beyond this, we're looking at dry conditions coming in here Saturday, partly cloudy skies, and then we'll call it partly to mostly cloudy on Sunday. That might trend a little bit more sunnier than that sounds, but we'll see how that goes. There's another system that's moving across the Great Lakes. This is modeled to be a little bit further north this on today's run here of the European model with any shower activity, but the European ensembles brings us a little bit further south. So we're going to allow for the possibility for a few showers to rotate through here on Monday, but it shouldn't be an overall big deal. This is not a big system at all. No matter what you look at. So Monday we have the opportunity for a few showers with this as this moves through, and then we're back to partly cloudy skies, partly to mostly sunny skies here on Tuesday. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for October 29th, 2025. Have a great Wednesday.